All right. So, thank you to Dr. Siti. Okay, so I'm taking over for the entrepreneurship. Basically, the entrepreneurship module stop with me. Okay. There's no more entrepreneurship module after this. Okay. So, I share my slide. Okay. You can open it on your phone, on your laptop. Okay. So just you can save my slide link lah. So easy for you to refer to. Okay. Okay. So wait.
Might be you need to make it as a full screen, Dr.
Yeah.
Fatin.
Okay. Okay. So for today, I did edit a little bit on the title, but it just give you more on technical issues on how to prepare your business plan. Okay, so basically, this module is coming from the Malaysian agency called InScan. Okay, so I just adopted, which is this type of business plan is being used in the industry. So it's actually quite reliable to be used for your business. Okay, so the first thing about business plan is what is a business plan is actually it's actually a written document. It's actually a very detailed document that describe matters related to the business, okay, to be undertaken in detail. Okay, so why we need business plan is actually been told by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, okay, tie your camel first, then put trust in Allah. Okay, so you need to plan and taking precaution. Okay, so this is also uh, connected to business plan. Okay, so business plan, people always think that this document is actually being prepared in the beginning of a business, but it's actually not true. Okay, business plan is being documented after you've done at least 1 year of business. Okay, so after you run your business for 1 year, then you come up with a business plan. So people always think about business plan. You start in the beginning of your business, which you don't run your business yet, but that is actually not true. Okay, and business plan can be done after 3 years, 5 years, anytime after 1 year of business. But it depends on the if you, for example, if you want to apply for grants, and the grant say if you already running for 3 months or 6 months, then you can start applying for that grant. So you can actually what you call it, preparing the business plan after 3 or 6 months. It depends on the what you call it, the agency that you want to apply to lah. Okay. So what is the purpose of business plan basically? Wait. So the first one is to identify the correct methods to manage the business. Okay, so basically, when you do business plan is actually a consistent document that you did for your business, regardless whether it's the first year or third year or 5 year or 10 years. Okay, so we need to do consistent documentation in order for us to recognize our business weakness, then we can actually try to correct it. Okay, so that's why this is the purpose of business plan, because it's not just do only once, it can be done many times. It's actually better to do it every year. For a business plan, if you look at a big company, a corporation, or what we call like Maybank, like banking. So they have their own business or corporate plan, okay, so that they can actually what you call it, prepare it and give it to the people who wants to invest in their company. Okay, so the business plan is not only for the sake of applying for grants or loans. It's also actually given to the to the investors. Okay, so another purpose of business plan is to increase the chance of success. What I mean here is you can actually apply for more grants and loans to expand your business. Means that your business actually get more success lah from expanding your business. Okay, and then the third one is develop mission and vision for your business. Identify business barriers and risks, and also you need to identify the key competitors, okay, and increase stakeholder confidence. Okay, so this is the most important part lah of a business plan, to increase stakeholder. Who's the stakeholder? I will explain after this. Okay. Okay, so the first one will be the stakeholder. The first stakeholder is financier, or people call it as loaners. Okay, so financier is actually like banks, okay, or certain agency. Maybe from your country, you have government agencies or banks that can provide small business loan, SMEs, and SME loans. Okay, and then the second one is suppliers. Okay, so the business plan also is very useful for suppliers. If the supplier want to have a very good connection with you, so you need to have documentation of performance, which is the business plan, so that the supplier will have a good look on your overall operation and overall performance. Okay, so that they can actually give you much more benefits in terms of lower cost, lower price of your raw material. Okay, all right, or maybe they can give raw materials or finished good on credit. Okay, on credit means they loan, they actually give their raw material first to you, and then you pay later. Okay, so basically like that lah. Okay, the third one would be the customers. Of course, the business product meets their needs and wants. Okay, this is the end, what you call it, end of the supply chain. You need to give a good image to your customers lah, so that they will actually increase more trust among them to buy your product in the long term. Okay, and keep repeating buying lah. Okay. The fourth one is the business partners. Okay, so business plan also is very effective if you want to have a good business partners later. Maybe you want to have a collaboration with a good company or a good partner, so you can actually give them your business plan for them to look at how good is your business performance is. Okay, and then the fifth one is the employees. Okay, to understand job scope and responsibilities. Okay, so this is very the business plan can actually go and detail out what is their job scope and responsibilities. Okay, and then the investors. Okay, this is the most important part of the business plan. Investors and government agencies. Okay, so if your company is flourish, good performance, investor would also wants to put their money into your business, so your business can keep growing and growing. Okay, and then we have government agency. Okay, the business plan also to make sure that your business is legal for them. Basically, government agency wants to know if they want to give you grants, they need to make sure that your business is legal. Okay, and then the potential or good business plan has better chances for government aid. Okay, and then this one also is for the business plan also is for the entrepreneur themselves, or the CEO or the owner. Okay, or the managers to it's actually a guide to monitor business activities to ensure goals are achieved. So basically, this is the use of business plan for your stakeholders. Okay, so So after this is about the step by step how to do business plan. I will also show you some example of my students because my students are running a real business, but they are just startups. So startups example is actually not really complicated compared to a long-term business for business plan. So business plan can be very, very complicated. Okay. Okay, so the first one of the page of your business plan, you must have executive summary. So executive summary, even though it's actually a first page of your business plan, it's actually a summary of everything after the executive summary. Okay, so the executive summary is the last part that you need to do to complete your business plan. So when you start your business plan, you are not going to start with executive summary, but executive summary is actually on the first page. Okay, so you are going to do after executive summary first, okay, which is the background, and then until appendix, and then once you finish all of your business plan, then you go back to your executive summary to summarize of your business for the whole business plan. Okay. Okay, so this is a very, very important part, okay, to capture interest for the stakeholder interest and confidence, okay. So when stakeholder, for example, you are applying loans from the government or the investors, or you want to give, you want to have investment comes in. Okay, executive summary is the crucial part because these parties will not go into detail after executive summary because they want to see the executive summary. Executive summary is a part that they will look at, and then if it's interesting enough, then they will go into the next pages. If your executive summary is not really interesting, so basically, they will just not look at for the rest of your business plan lah, because they have so many other business plan that they need to look at. So executive summary is very, very important. So executive summary is around one page only, a very, very short one, but just fulfill just one page. Okay, I will give you some example. Wait, Okay, so this is my students' business plan. Okay, their brand is Bobelicious. Okay, so executive summary, talking about uh, who is actually behind the company. Okay, and then talk about a little bit on the promotion part. Okay, this one they use Instagram. Okay, and then they talk about a little bit on their operation part. Okay, and then they're talking, and then this is the most important part in the executive summary, which is how much sales you do, how much is your net profit. Okay, sales and net profit is very, very important to be put inside the executive summary because performance is very important in the executive summary. So executive summary only one single page. Okay, all right. Okay. All right. Next will be business background. Okay. After executive summary, we're going to do business background. Okay. What you need to include is actually the background of the company. The background of the company. How is that established? How do you get the brand name? Okay. Why? What is the motivation behind your company that you want to open up a company? What kind of maybe some issues that you want to resolve in the community that you come up with the company. So everything about the company you put under business background, and then a little bit on the biodata of the business owner. What is the qualification? what kind of license that the owner have, or maybe some more relevant working experience. This is very, very important as well, because I've become a co-panel for a bank before to hear about business plan and pitching. Okay, before this. Okay, so some of the entrepreneur, they have good working experience. For example, they want to sell clothing, and then they have working experience at the for example, Uniqlo. They work there for 5 years. Okay, so that working experience is very, very important for them to have an effective clothing shop or stores. Okay, so that is very, very supportive. So it's not about only to put your biodata and there's no relation at all. There is a very significant relation, especially if you have a very good working experience related back to your business, basically. Okay, so that is the business background. Okay, so business background is just a overall overview of your business and you as the owner. Okay, so and then we need to have a project background. What is the project that you did in your business? Okay, the information of the project. Some business, they have different project. Okay, some one company can have several projects. Okay, so when you have several projects, for example, your one company have a food business, you have clothing line. Okay, and then you want to separate two business plan also. Okay lah. Okay, so you just focus on that single project only. Okay, so talking about the information of the project location, technical information that required maybe some machinery or equipment in the business. Okay, so this is my students' business project background. Okay, I'm not just opening up. I'm not just giving you an example of just a student assignment. They actually legal. This is a legal business. They are registered legally from our Ministry of SSM. We call it SSM. Okay, and then they run a real business. Okay, so this is basically not just a mere assignment lah. Okay, so they talk about location wise. Okay, and then they talk about some a little bit on their products. Okay, and then some issues that is related to the community in IUM. That's why they actually sell this product. Okay, and then why they come up with this company. Basically, they want to learn real life experience in entrepreneurship. Okay, all right. So, and then they talk about teamwork skills and so on lah. But basically, that is on the student level. Okay, their value proposition means what is the uniqueness of their company, of their product compared to the other products sales, same sale. It means that competitor in the IUM community or IUM sellers. Okay, so basically it talks about price a little bit and a little bit on the promotion part. Okay, and then in terms of the freshness of their product. Okay, limited edition, unique flavors. Okay, the flavor of their product, and then custom option for special events. Okay, and then talking about fillings and soft and fluffy textures. So this is a very detailed one. Okay, and then they talk about the operation wise, what they do in their activities in their business. They talk about Instagram promotion. Okay, repeat purchase. And then they also sell on offline channels in IM campus. Okay, and then they manage customer relationship and feedback, R&D, some R&D and so on. Okay, so basically this is a very, very detailed one. Okay, that actually represent what they basically do in their business. Okay. All right. So next will be wait. I need to use another one because it's very slow. This plan. Okay. So wait, wait, I cannot. Okay. All right. Next will be administration plan. So administration plan, you must have one single vision, what you need to achieve within 5 to 10 years. Basically, vision is actually a long-term goal for you to achieve. Okay, and missions is several missions. Okay, vision only one single mission vision, and then mission is the actionable objective to achieve what the vision wants. Basically, this is what I basically talk to my student. This is like a short term 1 year to 2 years objective, just to support the vision lah. Okay, and then you have objective result goal to achieve to enhance the company effectiveness and efficiency. So basically that is administration plan. And then you also need to mention about the flow chart of your business. Okay, this is the basic position that basically if you want to have a good company, and then if the investors and the financiers want to give their loans or grants, okay, or the government want to give their goals and grant, they basically prefer to give to a business that have a good structure, means that they have employees under them, at least to cover these four positions. The first one is CEO or the manager. The second one will be administration, marketing, and operation. So all this must be in the company. So basically, as a panel myself, if before this, I previously I'm a panel for banks, CIMB Bank. Okay, I will give before this I actually a panel for 20,000 grants, okay, from CIMB. So what I would prefer is for the company to have a good flow chart, means that they have someone who handle the administration, marketing, operation. Administration can be like admins plus finance, okay. So from that 20,000, for the owners or the entrepreneurs that have a good position or flow chart, we will give them 20,000 fully. Okay, so as a panel, I can give 10,000, 5,000, depending on how good their business is. Okay, so that is one of the things. Okay, and then okay, so for example, like vision, we have one single vision. Okay, leading student founded the dessert brand, and then they have mission to support the vision. Okay, and then they have organizational chart. Basically, they have CEO, COO is operational, CMO is the marketing part, CFO is actually finance. Okay, they have more people, and then they talk about tasks. Okay, tasks, responsibility, job scopes. They put here. Okay, so that you can see how the company works together. All right. Okay. All right. Next will be marketing mix. Okay, or marketing plan. Okay, so marketing plan is a detailed documentation on what is your product, where is your business location, the price for your product or service, the promotion of your product and service, the people involved in your business, okay, and then we have business process and physical environment. Physical environment talk about, maybe you have a shop or store at Kuala Lumpur. You talk about what is going on between in your environment of your store. For example, you are selling shawarma at area Bukit Bintang, okay, and then you talk about there are many other competitors of shawarma there. It's actually a very good tourist spot, tourist location for everyone who wants to try Arabic cuisine, something like that. Okay, so this is must be in the business plan as well, marketing plan. Okay, so let me share with you some other things. Okay, for example, like my students, they do product. This group have bomboloni is actually a type of donut that have fillings in it. So we call it bomboloni. Okay, this is the flavor that they give, and put some pictures in the business plan, and then how you put your price, how you manage to get your profit, in terms of, maybe you mentioned about the price strategy in it, talking about the cost price, and then the sales price, selling price, okay, and then how much profit you get from each of your price, okay, each of your product, okay, or service. So this is a one of example of my students. They use markup price strategy. Means that they just mark up a little bit from the cost price that they buy from supplier lah. Okay, and then they talk about promotion. Okay, so they put a little bit on the posters that they do. Okay, and then some of the posters, some of the bazaar booth that they sell to. Okay, and then the flavors and so on. So this is all the promotion. And then when it comes to the place, they talk about where they sell their product offline. Okay, and then their booth. Okay, so basically pictures are very, very helpful in the business plan, because investors or financiers doesn't want to see only words. So you need to have a little bit on the pictures. Basically equals to evidence. Okay, all right. Okay, so that's basically marketing part. All right. Okay, next one will be operation plan. Talks about how is the product and service description, production capacity, and production process. Okay, so basically, my students, they do in the flow chart manner, starting from they get their suppliers and how they sell their products to the consumers or to the customers. Okay, so the operational flow chart. Okay, they take from the supplier. As you can see in your order, operation, pack and sell, payment, clean, and complete order. Okay, so they mention how they do their operation in detail lah. Okay, but for a big company, a little bit on a very like complicated operation wise. Some company, they have like a small warehouse, so you can actually mention the warehouse layout plan, or maybe just a small production site. Just mention about the production site layout. That is very, very important. My students, this group, they are not having any kind of warehouse or production site. Okay, so they just take from suppliers and then they resell it. Okay, so basically that they only have this one now. Okay, and then they have a scheduling plan. Okay, to show to the investors and the financiers what they are doing in the, basically this is a 6 weeks business plan. Okay, so they actually do what they do in these 6 weeks. Okay, all right. Okay, Okay. Next one will be okay. I'm not going to full screen a little bit because I think I need to go back to business plan. Okay, so operation plans. This one I done already. Okay, financial plan is the next one. Will be the project implementation costs. Okay, this one is actually connected to a little bit on the financial technicalities. Okay, some entrepreneurs, if they don't know how to do their financial, basically they will hire third party to do their financial, but the business owners must actually provide them with receipts and bank statement for the accountant, third party accountant, to do their financial plan. Okay, so basically, there are three financial statements that is very very important for the financiers or government agency wants to look if they want to give you grants and loan. The first one will be cash flow, balance sheet, and profit and loss. Okay, so this is are the three financial statement that basically the stakeholder wants. Okay, so this is balance sheet is the trickiest part lah. I mean the complicated part. Basically, what you call it? Many entrepreneurs they actually hire accountants, third party accountants to do their balance sheet. Okay. And then you must actually, as an entrepreneur, we must actually put where our source of financing, basically own capital, or maybe you take a loan from your parents, okay, or government. Maybe you have other government grants or loans that you already received before. Okay, so this is the sources of financing lah. Okay, that you need to include in the financial plan. Okay, so this is basically my students' cash flow. Okay, so they actually do cash flow in many weeks, basically. All right, capital balance and so on lah. This one because some of them already like have financial skills. They are from Department of Finance, so they know how to do cash flow budget. But as an entrepreneurship lecturer myself, I did give them template for them to financial Excel template for them to follow. Okay, all right. And then profit and loss. I didn't ask my student to do balance sheet because that is very very hard for them. Okay, but for a normal business, you need to have a balance sheet. Okay, so profit and loss is talking about sales and expenses. Okay, and then how much net profit you get for that business. Okay, so my student get 3,861 sales in 6 weeks, which is very very good in terms of their performance. Can all right. Okay. So basically, there is a financial part. Yeah. Okay, so the conclusion is for your business plan, you must have a conclusion. Okay, the future prospect. Okay, the summary of the advantages and potential of your business and project and business. The project weakness. Okay, so even though the weakness will tell your investors or your stakeholders little bit on the weakness, but it's okay as long as you can manage your weakness. Okay, so you must also put the detail on the project weakness, how you counter back the weakness. Okay, so you have solution for that. And of course, every business have project weakness. Okay, and then we have project impact on society, even religion itself. Okay, or maybe some economy, you give job opportunity for the youth. Okay, so so the business must have an impact towards the society and economy, plus maybe religion or NGO or something like that. Okay, so the conclusion must actually have all these three, and then you need to have the last one will be the evidence part. you need to have appendices, and then this is that is required on the certificate. For example, like SSM registration, license, okay, business registration license, or maybe if you open a store at at a at one area, of course you have more licenses like the area license and so on lah. Okay, business documents, maybe you have agreements with the previous financier or government's agency. Okay, all right, and then you have financial statement in detail. Um, for example, like bank statements, some of the big amount of receipt, then you can actually put inside your business plan. And newspaper clippings, if your business has been in the newspaper, which is very good to be put under appendices, because it's actually this one is going to help good image of your business. And support letters, maybe you got support letters from um, maybe the village head. Okay, can, because sometimes we do business in, for example, we do business in a village, okay, and then the village got so many what you call it, tourists comes in, the economy of the village is actually increased. Okay, so the support letters coming from people who actually can support your business lah, overall. Okay, so okay, some of my students, they do online business plus offline business. So they mention about their insight is Instagram followers, in terms of how much followers they get within 6 weeks. Okay, and then the active time, maybe in terms of the views of each of the posts. Okay, and then they have a very detailed one in the inside. This is the business license from the SSM, Suruhanjaya Syarikat Malaysia, or people call it the Companies or Commission of Malaysia. So all business in Malaysia must legalize, registered under SSM. So they put their business license here, okay, and then their physical booth proof, some of the pictures here, okay, and then this is their business on the campus. Okay, so basically this is a startup company, so not much of licenses they have, but they will basically, what you call it, they will give out some of the evidence that they have for that 6 weeks only lah. Okay, all right, so I think that's all for business plan. Okay, I'm not going to teach you very detailed, but this is good enough guidelines for you to, if you have a business, and then if you want to apply for more grants and loans. So this is a good guideline, industry guideline based. This is industry guideline. Okay, for a business plan. All right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Wait. Okay. So we open
Dr.
for.
Fatin, you have two questions.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, two questions. One is from Mr. Devantoro. His startup company lack of experience, although it has a good business plan, but difficult to attract investors. So how can we align our business plan with the potential investors?
Okay. For this one, you need to go and look. What is the investor? What you call it, offer. Okay, so some investor, they want to some grants or loans, they want to support new startups. Okay, some loans and grants, they want to support a long term or established companies, Sdn Bhd, big company. Okay, so you must look at how to, what is the guidelines of that grants or what is the guideline of that loans, are you eligible to apply for that? Of course, startups in Malaysia, if I talk about Malaysian um, industry or Malaysian environment, we basically have a lot of grants that support startups. Even they have grants for students. Okay, so especially for the university student who come up with their own startup company. So uh, as a startup entrepreneur, you need to choose wisely lah. Don't apply for big company grants or loans. And if not, you cannot get that lah. Get the grants. Okay. Okay.
Okay,
I
second
used to be
question.
okay.
Yeah, second question is talking about, right. So how different will be the business plan for social
Mm.
enterprise versus service based?
Okay. Social enterprise. They can actually follow this guideline, but in terms of maybe you don't have to follow fully. 100% this guideline. You can actually add more on the impact part. Okay. Within administration plan or maybe in the operational plan, and especially on the conclusion part. Okay, so talk about how maybe there's one section you can add in terms of the beneficiaries who will receive what you call benefits from your business. Okay, so it's not much of different from a normal business plan. You can add a little bit on the beneficiary part in the social enterprise business plan, and there are grants and also loans who will support social enterprise because it's actually in on trend now in Malaysia. I think in the world, basically to support SE or social enterprise. For service base, you just change product to service. You can just follow exactly the guideline. You just change, for example, like on the marketing plan part, okay, just change to service. Okay, so of course, service, their operational plan will be very long because you want to, what you call it, you want to explain how your service works. Okay, so on the operational part, you need to put more information on how the service is being done to the consumer lah. Okay, so that is the answer for that question. Okay.
Okay, I think yeah, if you I also publish the Fatin email if you need further query, right? So you can direct email to her, right?
Okay.
So maybe you can ask for her phone number, right? Because this one
Okay.
is an interesting topic, right? So we can start the business right after we understand the business plan, inshallah.
Okay.
Okay,
All
Dr.
right.
Fatin, any more? Yeah.
Okay, let me read the comment a little bit. All right. Okay. First thing in every business plan is the objective definition. Yes. That's why the objective is actually at the what you call the earlier part of the business plan. Of course, you need to have a good objective before you come up with all the marketing, finance, and organization. Can we get a sample of the PDF? I'll put in the Google Drive, can Dr. Siti?
Yes. Mm.
Okay, all right. But my student business plan is very startup example lah. For big company, you can actually look at in the Google lah. You can Google it. Okay, startup company lack of experience, although it has a business plan, but it's difficult. Okay, this one we're done. Okay, there's risk attached. My question is, how do we plan to imitate the risk of the business? Okay, when you run your business, of course, you will go through many risks in the business. Okay, and then my students, they learn how to give a solution. For example, risk of their product is not really tasty or maybe it's too pricey. So how they do it, they come up with a smaller size of the product, and then they sell it on an affordable price. So that is the solution that they come up with. Okay, so of course the risk is there, but it's how you creatively give a solution for that risk. Okay, so that is very important lah. So when you run your business, basically there are risks. Okay, and then the entrepreneur themselves, they know how to come up with a good solution for that. Okay, and for example, maybe your good image is not really, is actually having a bad image on certain what you call it, gossip and so on. So you apologize to the in the TikTok and so on. So that is how entrepreneurs do when it comes to the solution, how to imitate risk. Okay. If there is a BP competition, is it professional to quote some information because of fear of using one idea? Is it professional to quote some information because of fear of using one idea? BP competition, as a panel myself, I don't really. Every single business is unique for me. If they come up with the same product like other people, what I would suggest to the entrepreneur who enter the BP competition is to bring their samples of product so that I can taste it. And then the price maybe will be different in terms of the operation, in terms of service they give to their customer should be different. So for me, every single business have their own uniqueness lah. As far as I've been 3 times of panel, I become a panelist. I don't see much in terms of similarity lah. There are differences in every business. Okay, and then okay.
We are running out of time. So
Okay.
I think, yeah. Okay,
Okay.
so if